Hello everyone, this is Joanna the Medium. Thank you so much for coming back. And for those of you who are new, thank you so much for joining, and I hope you like what you see. This is going to be your June forecast. I hate the word forecast because I don't predict per se. Your June reading, intuitive reading, let's put it that way. An exciting month. I feel there's a lot of changes we're all going through, and I've been seeing that from you as well. Bear in mind, these are general readings, which means they will not connect with everyone. If it did, I don't think that's even possible. They do, interestingly, connect with a lot of you. Pieces may connect with you, some pieces may not. It may not connect with you one day and totally connect with you a day later or a week later. So do listen to this whenever you listen first and then at the end of the month, because they do make much more sense. Also, because these are general, listen to it to the other signs, your moon sign and your rising sign, as well as sun sign, because they will offer you a lot more information oftentimes. And of course, these are general, like I mentioned, so it's impossible for me to cover everybody. And if you would like a private session, that information is down below for you. I decided to do Uranus readings, so I will be doing those within the next couple of weeks. I will let you know when they are done, and I will focus on the entire 7 years of what we can expect for each sign, and that's how my guides are asking me to present this. So it'll be a big picture. So stay tuned. I will be announcing when that will be ready. And I think that's all I have. Have yourself a wonderful month of June. For those of you who have birthdays in June, happy birthday. And without further ado, let's move on with individual signs. I'll see you in a bit. Hello, beautiful Virgos. This is going to be a reading for the month of June 2018. Let me start off with channeled information. Okay, one of the first things I saw when I connected to you was snake in the grass. So that can mean many things. To me, this is something to be weary of and something to look out for. And I also want to say, watch out where you're going. So for some of you, this may very well symbolize you being somewhere out in nature and just needing to really watch your step. Obviously, that's not going to be for all of you. For others, it's to watch for the proverbial snake in the grass. Somebody who is trying to trick you, somebody who's trying to somehow take advantage of you or leave you disadvantaged. And then I heard the word friend. So this can be for some of you that somebody who is a friend ends up being a snake in the grass, or someone you considered a friend or calls themselves a friend is the snake in the grass. And for some of you, it's going to be somebody else. But that was the first things I saw. So to me, this suggests there is something you need to look out for, or at least be not weary, but be, what's the word I want to use? Have your eyes open. That is what I want to say. Then I saw you sharpening your skills. This can be skills as in, I don't know, your tools. You're sharpening knives, or you're sharpening swords, or you're sharpening your speaking qualities. I'll use it that way. Skills. Whatever this means for you, I saw you sharpening your skills. I also saw that you were moving on, and for many of you, you're moving on really fast. But it was a twofold message, because for some of you, I felt you were moving quickly away from something, and for some of you, you were moving quickly towards something. So there's a sense of urgency almost, or almost being in a bit of a rush, either rushing to get away from somewhere you are in right now, or have been in the last little while, or needing to reach something, and there is a sense of urgency with this. For some of you, this could be as simple as trying to catch a train or a bus, and you need to get somewhere on time, and that's just a single example. And then I heard the word transition. So for some of you, this is going to be you transitioning from one way to another. Job, relationship, health regimen, friendship, cities and countries. And you actually have a very similar card twice, I think, in the card. So the message is repeating itself. then I saw you being overwhelmed, and it felt like you were being overwhelmed by something that was being presented to you. So I actually wrote the word opportunity. This could be something you come in contact with that is given to you as a choice to undertake. This could obviously be a position that's proposed to you. This could be a business venture that's being proposed to you. This could be something that you're being approached to do that overwhelms you. There was a feeling of being overwhelmed by the opportunity. And then you were questioning whether you should take it or not. So it could be a job position, and you go for an interview and they say they want you, and now you're deciding, because what you thought this was versus what now you're being told are two different things, and maybe it's not what you initially thought it was going to be, and you're feeling overwhelmed. That's an example. There's obviously other things as well. The word investment came up as well. So overwhelmed by an opportunity, investment. I can see how these things can play a role together. Looks like some of you, at least, if not many of you, some of you will be dealing with some choices and decisions. And for some of you, it's untimely. Why is it untimely? It's almost like it's going to come, but it's going to feel too soon for you. You're not ready. And because of that, you might feel overwhelmed and you might be questioning. So that's what I got from meditation. One more piece. I actually saw a starfish. So I'm seeing lately different animals for different people and for different signs. And for you, it was starfish. So I actually went and looked up what starfish means as an animal symbolism or totem, spirit animal. So if you could do that, if you want to do that too, because it'll give you a lot of information. But starfish is all about trusting instincts and trusting intuition. So there's a message in a starfish for you in the month of June, and chances are this is to do with the opportunities or with the situations you're moving away from, or the snake in the grass. So there's a need to trust your instinct and trust your intuition in the month of June. Obviously always, but particularly in the month of June, because you may not have a lot more to go on other than your instinct or your intuition, which I feel is one and the same. And stop second guessing yourself when you know it's right, when you know you're right. Okay, so that's what I want to say. Now the numbers around you are 2 and 3. So 3 is expansion. You are moving to bigger and better, or you are expanding in your mind internally, your belief system, the way you think about the world. There's an expansion in your consciousness, absolutely. 2 is all about choices and decisions. So also juggling. When we expand, inevitably we get to a point where we need to choose and decide. So that to me goes hands in hands, and that creates environment for change. So there's a lot of beautiful things I feel are happening. A lot of these things have been, I want to say, on the back burner for months, some of you for years. So I don't know what that means. And I'm just going to go through the cards. Okay. Focus points. The first one you have kind of interests me. You have not for you. So basically this is a message that says whatever you're contemplating on, doesn't matter how much harder you're working on it, and it's not working out because it's not for you. So there's a message here that something in your life is needing to be decided, and it may be something you're trying really hard to make work, but it's just not happening, and perhaps it's because it's not meant to be for you. And it's not that it's not meant to be for you because you shouldn't have it. It may just not be the best way for you, the way it's being presented now. Is there anything else I can say about this card? Again, trust your instinct, trust your intuition. So this card clearly speaks to something that is not for you. And my God, just stop repeating yourself. Okay, I think you get the point. The next card you have is here and now. So what I want to say here is this. There's no point going in the past. There's no point trying to create your future in your mind unless you have all the facts right. So this is about you focusing on the now. And somehow this is connected to opportunities or the investment. But it's really important to focus on the now and on the present. And the reason why is because you want to make sure this time you are doing the right thing. Therefore, you need to focus and find your answer within. Again, use your intuition. When we are in the future or when we are in the past and where our energy is all over the place, we cannot hear ourselves. We cannot hear our higher self, our intuition. So this is about the need to be still for a moment. The other card of the message of this card, meaning of this card is stop focusing so much on what is no longer or what is not here yet. And I always say, well, I don't always say, but they say that we have nothing other than this moment. And if you think about it, it's true. So there's a need here to sit still for a moment. And I feel it has to do with the opportunities and whatever is coming in for you, you're going to have to decide. Then you have the card called Orphaned. Another sign just got this. And this is all about you no longer fitting in. No longer fitting in a group, family dynamic, friendship dynamic, relationship, your belief system. This also speaks a little bit of isolation. And what this is saying here is when you start to feel that way, it's time to move on because you are transforming. So this card talks about transformation, and you have that here. I also want to say it's not a coincidence you feel the way you do. You've been thinking about it for years, or you've been feeling it for years, something like that. So this is going to mean something to you, okay? So this card to me talks about moving on from something that isn't serving you. All of a sudden I got the word undeserving. So for those of you who can resonate with the idea of undeserving within yourself, examine how that belief system about you, and it's more likely subconscious, examine if you in fact have that belief system just by looking at your patterns, and notice how it is affecting you, particularly in the month of June. Very, very, very important. Okay? I also want to say the new moon was a new beginning for you. A new moon was on May 15th. That's what was said for some of you. Now, with the animals, you have the bear. So bear is about transformation. Bear is about coming out of sleeping mode, coming out of hiding, coming out of darkness, I want to say, but it's about transformation. It's about moving on. The season has changed, and when the season has changed, everything transformed. So this is a new path. This is a new beginning. You have the hummingbird. The hummingbird was facing the bear. What I want to say with this message here is make sure you know where you draw energy from and where you spend energy. Why do I want to say this? Because it's important. This hummingbird comes to a place where it knows it will always get its nourishment, its sweet water, its nectar. So this is talking about sustaining yourself, what feeds your soul. It is important to determine what that is for you, particularly for those of you who are needing to choose or make a very important decision. And if you spend energy, valuable energy, on things that do not feed your soul, then you're going to find yourself in a very compromising position. So I feel like this is a time for you to reset something really important in your life. The way you are in a relationship, the way you express yourself in the world, the way you relate to other people, the way you see things, whatever it is for you, there's a need to withdraw from what drains your energy and find what it is that feeds your soul. Very important. You have the shark, and it's all about what lurks underneath that cannot be seen but has the potential to hurt you deeply. So this is all, and again, I hear the word undeserving. So this is about the subconscious mind. So the shark to me represents an aspect of you that is like a shark. When it gets you, you're in freaking trouble, but you don't see it coming. So this is about exploring your own depths and looking for your sharks. What are your sharks? What insecurities are holding you back? What belief system is making you less than you want to be? What idea or people do you cling to that make you feel less than? Those are all the things that fundamentally affect our life and what we create. So this is what you need to focus on. Then I asked for more cards. You have 3 of Pentacles, you have 8 of Wands, and you have 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Right away, what I get here is with this card, what I'm getting is the word trust. There's an issue with a trust with somebody or somebody's. Could be in a workplace, could be in a relationship. Looks like that's what you're dealing with. There is also lack of collaboration and people being on different pages. This could be why you are moving on very fast away from something, and this could be why you're sharpening your skills, because you're going to make yourself available to another opportunity. The 8 of Wands in reverse is showing me that there has been either lack of movement or there needs to be I'm gonna rephrase. The 8 of Wands to me represents lack of movement or lack of choices with where you are right now. Okay? And it could be because people are not cooperating together or they're not on the same page. Absolutely. But what I also feel is that this is giving you the opportunity to start something new and also reclaim your power. Now, when I say this, what I mean is this message to me represents moving on from poverty thinking. So it is an idea based in lack. Okay? Now, when we were talking about the sharks in your depths or the belief systems that hurt us or that limit us, a belief system based in lack will always negatively affect us. It's just to what degree. But if there's no if, it absolutely will. So there's a huge opportunity here for you to walk away from a lack-based belief system, but it is instigated or organized, so to speak, by the universe through sets of circumstances that will bring things to the surface. So then I said, okay, one last card. What is the advice? And you have the 7 of Pentacles. The moment I got this card, I heard clearly, be mindful where you invest your energy. Okay? So if you are looking at making choices, really ask yourself, what is it that nourishes me? It'll be easier to make a choice. If you are looking at investments or opportunities, ask yourself what it is that you need, what it is that you want. Is it going to be a fit for you or is it not? And from the very beginning, when I talked about the snake in the grass and the starfish, it's all about investment is your word. Where do you invest your energy? Where do you invest your money? Where do you invest your valuables? Where do you invest your time? Because it either works for you or it works against you. Can there be anything in the middle? I guess, but what could it be in the middle? Then you kind of have no feeling. Let's just go with what I said first. Either it works for you or works against you. And I know there could be a gray area, but you guys get it's for the purpose of illustrating the point. And I think that's all I have. Cross was drawn to me. So yes, crossroads represents crossroads, which means time to make choices and decisions. And for many of you, choices and decisions that are vastly different from the ones you have made before for yourself. And because you've come to some conclusions. So fantastic month looks like. Lots of opportunities for a shift. And we're all going through shift of consciousness. And I always say, when we understand ourselves on a deep, deep level and have ability to see things from a different perspective, everything shifts as a result, and we attract accordingly. So I hope this makes sense. If it doesn't make sense now, which probably won't, at the beginning of the month, do look at it at the end of the month. You always tell me that it does make sense. Thank you so much for watching, for liking, for sharing, and for subscribing. And of course, if you would like a private session to see how your life unfolds, that information is down below. Thank you again. I wish you a wonderful month of June, and I will see you soon. Take care.